Hi there. My name is Matthew, and I'm the pastor of Grace Lutheran Church in Boulder, Colorado. And this is a video in the bi-weekly reflection series that I've been posting where I read the psalm for the upcoming Sunday and reflect on it just a little bit. So the psalm for this coming Sunday is Psalm 145, verses 1 through 8, but I'm going to ignore the restriction to verses 1 through 8 and just going to read the whole psalm. So Psalm 145. I will extol you, my God and King, and bless your name forever and ever. I will praise you and praise your name forever and ever. Great is the Lord and greatly to be praised. His greatness is unsearchable. One generation shall laud your works to another and shall declare your mighty acts. On the glorious splendor of your majesty and on your wondrous works I will meditate. The might of your awesome deeds shall be proclaimed, and I will declare your greatness. They shall celebrate the fame of your abundant goodness and shall sing aloud of your righteousness. The Lord is gracious and merciful, slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love. The Lord is good to all, and his compassion is over all that he has made. All your works shall give thanks to you, O Lord, and all your faithful shall bless you. They shall speak of the glory of your kingdom and tell of your power, to make known to all peoples your mighty deeds and the glorious splendor of your kingdom. Your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and your dominion endures throughout all generations. The Lord is faithful in all his words and gracious in all his deeds. The Lord upholds all who are falling and raises up all who are bowed down. The eyes of all look to you, and you give them their food in due season. You open your hand, satisfying the desire of every living thing. The Lord is just in all his ways and kind in all his doings. The Lord is near to all who call on him, to all who call on him in truth. He fulfills the desire of all who fear him. He also hears their cry and saves them. The Lord watches over all who love him, but all the wicked he will destroy. My mouth will speak the praise of the Lord, and all flesh will bless his holy name forever and ever. So that sounds to me like a whole lot of praising, and I kind of rankles me a little bit because it seems like a little over the top. I mean, I know there's that one verse in there about the wicked who will be destroyed, but there's a whole lot of praising. But then I started thinking about when I was in high school. What I did in high school for a job was I worked during the summers for one of our neighbors. And this man owned a business doing work for other people all around the county. Mostly the work that he did was in the fields. Mostly the work that he did and had me do was using tractors. Mostly, at least for me, it was out in the hay fields. I remember this one field that we cut every year. It was coastal Bermuda grass, a beautiful field. It was a big, smooth, even, open field, but with just one big oak tree up in the northwest quadrant. And this is the field, one of the first fields that I was out driving a tractor in. It was the field that I learned to run a tractor and a hay cutter in my first summer doing the work, which obviously took some coaching. So as I was getting coached, I didn't pay particular attention to the beauty of the grass or the field that year. My second summer, though, when I worked there, I remember one day I was sent out to start cutting this field all on my own. So I got on the tractor, pulled the cutter out the driveway and down the road, and drove the tractor to the field and pulled in there. And as I pulled in, I shut the tractor down and I got out to get all the implements ready and all that. And while the engine was off, I noticed that the grass was beautiful and lush and green. And it was waving gently in the wind in such a way that just caught my eye and made me not really want to cut it, because cutting the grass would ruin the beauty of this field. Of course, if I let the field be uncut, I'd have probably gotten in trouble with my boss because he made money cutting people's hay, and then I'd have a problem because I wouldn't have a job anymore, and I wanted money to go hang out with my friends. So I started up the tractor again and commenced to driving around in circles, cutting the grass. And then when I finished cutting the field, there was green grass that had been cut laying on top of the lighter colored grass that was closer to the ground. You know how grass is greener at the top and kind of sandy colored underneath? Well, I cut off the green part and it was laying there on top of the lighter colored grass. And the green grass was in beautiful rows all around the field. And it made me stop and realize, well, it was beautiful before and it's beautiful now again. When we came back a couple days later, the green grass had dried to a sandy color and was still laying beautifully around the field. And we were supposed to be raking it up into windrows, but I didn't really want to rake it because they would ruin the beauty of the grass laying there on the cut grass laying there on the uncut grass. Of course, I raked the field up so we could bale it because otherwise I got in trouble with my boss and he had business making money doing this. And after I raked it, I realized it was beautiful. It was now a cleaner looking field with the hay from the whole field in a big continuous windrow spiraling inward toward the center of the field. And it was beautiful and I didn't want to bale it because baling it would ruin the beauty of that field with the spiraling windrow going all the way in. Of course, the hay got baled because, making money and all that. In this field, we baled it into those big round bales that are 5 feet across and 6 feet across the other way, give or take. And I looked back and the field was beautiful. It was clean and taken care of and the bales were scattered all around. Kind of wanted to leave it there because the bales were a testament to the work that we had done and the clean field was also a testament to the good work that we had done. Of course, we didn't leave them out there. We loaded them in the trailer and delivered them to the storage, the place where the fellow that owned the field wanted them stored, right up there by the outbuildings. We put them all there, and then as we were driving away, I looked at the field, and it was beautiful. It was starting to look lush and green again, growing uniformly all the way across. And it had grown just enough by then to barely start waving beautifully again in the gently blowing wind. I discovered over those few days, while that field was getting prepared to be baled and the hay was getting ready to be stored, that the thing that I was looking at was beautiful. And also, there's beauty in the next thing, which is what this psalm sounds like to me. It's a whole bunch of different ways of looking at the myriad different ways that the psalmist comes up with to praise our God. Kind of like looking at all the different ways there's beauty in this hayfield. And further, the scholars tell me, and this is part of the reason I wanted to read the whole psalm, the scholars tell me that this psalm is an acrostic where each line of the psalm begins with a different letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Kind of like saying, with the very structure of the psalm, that we can and maybe should praise God from A to Z for the beauty of all that God has given us, for all that God has done for us. Praise God from A to Z or from beginning to end. And I got to tell you, I've discovered over these few years that I've been living, I've discovered through trial and error that praising God and paying attention to beauty really is a pretty good way to go through life. Praising God and paying attention to beauty.